Good morning, dear friends. I'm glad to come your way again. And I promised you a practical example in the previous episode, which I was saying you cannot have the lion mindset without having the lion content. This practical example is found in Luke chapter 14 from Jesus' own mouth. And I'm just going to read and then say a few things. Jesus said, "Which of you, intending to build a tower, seated not down first and counted the cost, whether you have enough to finish?" Jesus is not bothered about you starting. Jesus is bothered about you finishing. To start is one thing, but to finish is quite another thing. So Jesus, in his mindset, is not calculating to start. He's calculating that when I start, will I be able to finish? The second thing is saying, lest happily after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him. When you start and you cannot finish, you become a ridicule to yourself. When you start, you raise people's hopes and expectations. But when you cannot take it to the end, they become disappointed in you. So it is not about starting, it's about finishing. And he said another thing in verse 30, saying this, and these people, the people be saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. That will be your name. That will be a new title, that you started to build, but you could not finish. 31, which is where I'm going to, it says, what king going to make war against another king? You are a king, you are going to fight another king over something that you deem important to you. You don't fight over useless things. It's always something that is very important to you that you fight for. So this king is going to fight another king. But Jesus expects that before you go to battle, you say, sit down and count the cost. Consulted whether he be able with 10,000 to go against him that has 20,000. You have 10,000 soldiers. The other king you are going to fight has 20,000 soldiers. You have to sit down and weigh your strength and find out whether with 10,000 soldiers you can attack that man and win. In case you cannot win, what do? Look at what he says here. He says, if you cannot win, what do? While the other is still far away, what do? You will send messengers to meet him and desire conditions of peace. You will send your own messenger to go and beg him, say, "Oh God, please, we are sorry. We are sorry. You have won the battle. You have won. Why? Why are you giving up now? Because you have seen that you cannot face that man. You don't have the content. You don't have the resources to confront him and win. And every time you check yourself and discover that you don't have what it takes, you cannot have the lion mindset. You will run. You will flee. And I want you to know that when Jesus says anything, he is talking first about the kind of way he thinks. Jesus cannot go for any battle without counting the cost. Jesus cannot go to confront any other king without being sure that as I'm starting this battle, I will finish it. But many of us are not like that. We just rush out of emotions. We just rush and start, and then somewhere along the line we get caught up. And that's how we also do our projects. There's no project you start that you finish. Always end on the road. Always stops somewhere. And then you become a ridicule. You become a mockery. Because you give people hopes and now you have disappointed them. This is a very practical example. Don't claim to have the lion mindset when you don't have the lion content. All the best.